Ah, a nervy one, but a massive one, goodness. Who that game took a lot out of us Arsenal fans. Um, in the end, it was a professional performance. It was 2-0 to the Arsenal. Brentford came to the Emirates with a plan. Make it physical, stay compact, slow the rhythm, and test Arsenal's patience. And for long stretches, it worked. But big teams, title winning teams, have got to win games like this, no matter what. So, guys, let's get into our three ups and three downs for this game. Okay, first up for me, it's gonna be Odegaard. It was a captain's performance in the game. Odegaard started the game after being off injured for such a long time, and Mikel Arteta has been easing him back into the rhythm of things. But it was a captain's performance. He restored Arsenal's passing rhythm, and the triangles, the tempo, the disguised passes between the lines, everything that we know Odegaard for. And granted, he wasn't at his full flowing best, but he was always looking for the ball, always coming to take the ball and trying to progress Arsenal forward. We've missed that in a while, and that is the element of control that Mikel Arteta likes. He likes the control. And when we have the ball, when we dominate the ball, and Odegaard is one of the best at it because he's always taking the ball and beating players and creating spaces where it looks like there's no space. So, and the good thing for me is that Odegaard played for 90 minutes. That has got to be a positive, adding to his fitness and preparing him for what is going to be a brutal run this December. It was a captain's performance. Fair play to Odegaard. Number two, okay, guys, my second up is Saka. Saka coming off the bench is my second up. And, Arteta played this perfectly. And if you watch the preview, Arsenal versus Brentford, I was advocating for a lot of changes in this game, including Saka starting on the bench and Madueke getting a run out because I thought that this was the one game that you could rest Saka in because we're at home and you could get a fresh Saka going into that game against Aston Villa, which is going to be a real, real battle. And also check out my preview on the Aston Villa game as well. But when Saka came onto the pitch, you can see the crowd get elevated. Even the players on the pitch were elevated. Brentford players also knew, okay, someone important has come on the pitch, and you could see that it made them drop a number of spaces back. And he just accelerated everything for Arsenal. And then he scored that killer goal. And he had an opportunity to pass the ball, to Gyökeres, but Saka is always confident and would always try to take it on. And he had a chance just before that the ball just bubbled and he didn't connect with it right. And that could have been 2-0. But Saka was determined not to let this one slip away. That's mentality, that's resilience, and that's why he's one of Arsenal's most important player. Arrested Saka is a dangerous Saka, and I cannot wait to see him terrorize Matty Cash, in the Aston Villa game on Saturday. Third up for me was replacing the chaos in the back. We already started this game without Gabriel, without Saliba, and Mosquera, and Hincapié had done very well against the Chelsea game. And of course, the curse of injury hit us again. Mosquera had to get out, and Arsenal had to reshuffle again. This time, Timber coming into the centre back position and Ben White staying, which, by the way, was good to see Ben White getting 90 minutes. It wasn't exactly his coherent best, but hey, you got to give the guy some slack because he hasn't really been starting a lot of games. So all of this is just gonna help him to get his match fitness going. But Timber stepped in, the center back, did very well. In Capie, he's growing into this Arsenal squad. Didn't make a lot of mistakes. He was also meeting a lot of the crosses and aerial duels as well, especially when Brentford were having lots of joy getting balls into the box, and Capi was hitting those headers as well. So that was really, really good. And Calafiori was just himself providing that control on the left-hand side. So Brentford tested us in transition, but the back four handled the chaos very well. Another clean sheet. That's the depth that we're talking about, and we've got to build that chemistry going on. Okay, guys, let's talk about things that we could improve, because this is what this show is all about. We talk about three ups and then we talk about areas that Arsenal can improve in. Because with every game, there's always something that we could have done a little bit better. The first down for me was this game was just way too nervy. And listen, some games are gonna be like this. And but until you get that second goal, it just creates a wrong energy. And hey, it only takes some dubious, controversial decision from the referee. I always want the referees to stay out of Arsenal's game. We dominated the territories, but we didn't create enough clear chances. And like I said, the longer the game stayed at 1-0, the more Brentford grew into the game. And then, Kit Andrews was throwing in their strikers, and when Damsgaard got into the game, it actually changed the passing dynamic of Brentford, and they were passing the ball a little bit better. But we cannot let games like this drift. We've got to close down shop as soon as possible. Okay, second down for me is Madueke. And listen, he faded very, very fast in this game. First 20 minutes, he was bright. He was running down the channels, trying to do, as much as he could. But it felt like as soon as he started not getting those corners, beating the first man, I think that took a little bit of a knock on his confidence. I'm not sure what it was, but it just seemed like he had those three successive corners that didn't even beat the first man. And then after that, it just seems like he just lost, everything. So, hey, he's got to play consistently for 90 minutes, or else he's not going to be playing a lot of games for Arsenal, especially if he's trying to, take the spot away from Saka. So, listen, I've got to give him some slack as well. He's also coming back from injury. So we've got to see how he plays himself back to form. But, he faded, dramatically in this game. So that's the second down for me. I think the third down for me is that Brentford had way too many transition moments. And this is something that Arsenal need to tidy up. Brentford aren't passive. They want to spring forward the moment they win the ball. And in this match, they had lots of dangerous break. And there was a particular chance that, came from a set piece that's Raya had to tip it into the bar. He should be in one of my ops as well, but Raya did very well to keep that, and that kept us in the game because if we had conceded, I think that would have given more oxygen to Brentford, that would have spurred them on, and then we don't know what kind of game this would have looked like. So it's Arsenal control most of the play, but Brentford still had opportunities to punch. And this is one thing that we've always been good at, not even allowing the opposition create chances, more or less score goals. But it seems like we've been brought down to the mean. And to be fair, it was always going to be difficult to sustain that for a whole 38 games. The fact that people were not even getting shots on target against us. But yeah, I think, we just keep every game. It is almost like who's going to go out for an injury or something. We need to address it because we've not done a lot of games, only 14 games in, so we need this depth, and we need to have our players fit to have at least a consistent starting lineup for a run of games. But guys, it wasn't sparkling, it wasn't perfect, it was 3 points. With the December piling up, this is the kind of games that you just want to win, right? And when you get over in January, nobody really cares what happens in the game. What everyone cares about is, did you get the 3 points? And that's exactly what we did. So guys, let me know what you think, about this game. Did I miss something in my three or some three down? Put it in the comments as well. And I appreciate all of you, like I always say, for watching this. Please like and subscribe and share this with as many Arsenal fans as possible. And also check out my channel for previews of the Aston Villa and Arsenal game. That is going to be interesting because there's something in that game that I'm going to be talking about that would absolutely change the way that we see the game. And if we do that, Arsenal would actually get the 3 points. I'll see you guys at the next one.